Well, hello there. Welcome back to another video with your girl, Curly Mika. So in this video, I will be sharing tips with you as to what you should and should not do on your relax day or on your relax year. Let's get right into it. On your relax day, you do not want to be drinking any hot beverage. And I'm talking about your hot chocolate, your coffee. Do not be drinking these hot beverages on your relaxed day. Why? Because it's going to cause your body to become hot and it is going to make your pores open. Remember that your scalp is still skin. And so when you put the relaxer on the hair and if it gets onto the scalp because the pores are open, then guess where the relaxer is going to go? So we want to keep those pores closed. We do not want them to be open. So avoid drinking hot coffee or hot chocolate before you do your relaxer on your relaxer day. Next, you want to make sure that you are basing your scalp. You want to make sure that you are protecting your scalp on your relaxer day. There are different products that you can use on your relaxer day to base your scalp. For me, when I was relaxing my hair, whenever I would relax my hair, I would use the scalp shield from the Revlon brand. And I'll show it to you right here. That is what I would use on my relaxer day to put onto my scalp. So don't skip that because that is a safety. Remember, the manufacturers who manufacture these products, they tell us what to do. So you want to follow manufacturer's guidelines. Now we know that sometimes when you're relaxing your hair, perhaps the relaxer might get on hair that has already been relaxed. But you want to make sure that you're only putting the relaxer where? On your new growth. That is the hair that is naturally coming from the scalp. It has never been chemically altered. Once it's a retouch, you want to make sure that you're only putting the relaxer on the new growth so that you are avoiding overlapping your relaxer. So to avoid overlapping the relaxer, focus on getting the relaxer onto the new growth. And if you were to overlap the relaxer every time you relax your hair, you're making those areas that has already been relaxed weaker. And we don't want to have weak relaxed hair, we want to have strong relaxed hair. And just for emphasis, as I mentioned earlier about overlapping, this is one thing that you want to avoid overlapping your relaxer. So as was mentioned earlier, you want to keep the relaxer on the new growth and avoid overlapping onto the new hair, onto the previously relaxed hair rather. So when you're relaxing your hair, once it's a retouch, do not put it on the whole of your hair. Some people when they're relaxing your hair, they just put it on everything. Once the retouch, stick to the new growth. Perhaps your hair is dirty, maybe adding braids or something, and so now you want to wash your hair because you just removed those braids. Now, if you plan on relaxing your hair, you want to wash your hair at least a week before your relaxer. You don't want to be washing your hair on the same day of your relaxer or 3 days before your relaxer. Why? Because sometimes you might tend to scrub the scalp and then your nails might cut the scalp. And then if you have abrasions on the scalp, then that's a big no-no. You do not want to be putting chemical on your hair when you have open wounds. So avoid washing your hair close to your relaxer day. And that too will help to prevent relaxer burn. Because remember, even though you base the scalp, we want to make sure that there's no cuts or anything that is on the scalp. And if your scalp itch and you scratch, which means that when you're washing your hair, you're scratching your scalp, then the possibility of it having a cut or so will be there and you could end up getting burns on your relaxer day. Now I know that on your bad hair day, you might want to put on a hat on your head to cover up your hair. If you're going to do your relaxer, please do not wear a hat. Why? Because the hat is going to be resting on your skin area and perhaps the hat is tight. So those areas where the hat was resting on will become sensitive and on your relaxer day, you might end up with a burn. So to avoid that, please do not wear a hat when you're going to the salon for your relaxer day, or if you're doing a relaxer at home, avoid wearing hats. Okay, so that you are not irritating your scalp. Our aim is always to prevent burns, and so anything that can cause irritation, we avoid them. Are you a person who exercise so you get your weekly exercise in? So on that day that you're going to do your relaxer, you're going to have to not exercise just before your relaxer. Remember that when you exercise, you are going to sweat, and when you sweat, you're going to become hot. And remember that heat is what helps the relaxer to work. And so if you become hot and your pores become open, then that too can cause relaxer burn. Remember that when you put the relaxer on the new growth, the heat from your scalp can cause the relaxer to melt, and then when it melts, it's going to run down where? It is going to run down on your scalp. Even though we base the scalp, we still want to do everything that we can to prevent burns. Once you have done applying the relaxer to your hair, or if you go to the salon, you should not be sitting down with the relaxer in your hair. So those days of you sitting down with relaxer in your hair should be over and gone. So once the relaxer has been applied, it should now be taken out. If you read the relaxer instruction, it tells you 15 minutes, right? And if you even go over to 20 minutes, you want to make sure that that 20 minutes include you putting in the relaxer in your hair and taking it out. And that is what the 20 minutes covers. So it means that whoever is doing your hair, whether it's you or you go to the salon, they must be moving fast. All right, so you're not supposed to be sitting down with a relaxer. Once you finish applying the relaxer, you go through the hair and everything. Then the next step should be to rinse the hair out. While rinsing the hair, you want to make sure that you're using warm water, not hot water now, but you want to be using warm water. The warm water will help to melt up the relaxer and get it to move off the hair. And you want to project the force of the water onto the scalp area to remove the relaxer. So don't use your hand to massage it in, use the water to take it off. Remember that the first step in stopping the relaxer is water, and we want to use warm water. For those persons who relax their hair at home, perhaps you rinse your hair in the shower. Now you want to avoid having the relaxer run down onto your entire body. So if you do your wash day at home, perhaps you want to do a front wash first, rinse out the relaxer out of your hair in a front wash, and then afterward you can go into the shower and finish up your washing. But try not to have the relaxer water running down onto your entire body. Remember, we are only relaxing our hair on our head, not the rest of the hair on our body. So avoid having the relaxer running down onto your body if you do your relaxer at home. Of course, if you go to the salon, they'll have a shampoo basin to rinse your hair out. Next, we want to make sure that we are protecting our hands. So a lot of times when we do a relaxer at home, we might tend not to wear gloves, but we should really be protecting our hands. So make sure that if you do your relaxer at home, make sure you have gloves on your hands to protect them from the chemical. And if you go to the salon, encourage your stylist to wear gloves to protect their hands. Remember, if it's something that you're doing very regular, especially if you work in a salon, it can dry out the moisture from your hands and make your hands become very dry. And to avoid all of that, you want to make sure that you're wearing your gloves. Now, after you've rinsed the relaxer from your hair, you have done your neutralizing shampoo, all of that, you want to make sure that on your relaxer day, you are doing a moisture treatment. You want to put back what you have removed. Remember that a relaxer will take out some of the moisture out of your hair. So you want to make sure that you're putting back the moisture. So ensure that you have a moisture treatment on your relaxed day. And it is good that you're doing it on your relaxed day because the cuticles of the hair shaft will still be slightly open. And so the product will be able to go into the hair shaft easier. So make sure that you're using a moisture treatment after your relaxer. If you decide that on your relaxer day, you want to blow dry your hair or flatten your hair, try to avoid excessive heat. So what you can do is to use the low temperature on your blow dryer, the heat of course, but the low heat, and then on if you're going to be using a flat iron, then you want to go anywhere between 260 and 360. So between 260, 360, that's it. No more. Remember that you're working with your hair that is coming from the scalp, and so you want to ensure that you're not using too much heat, especially on your relaxed day. Remember that we want to strengthen the hair because hair has gone through a process, and so we don't want to be doing anything that will negatively impact our hair. For me, roller setting my hair would be a better option for me than to blow dry my hair and flat iron it. So that's another tip that you can use, that it's best for you to roller set your hair. I know it's old school to roller set your hair, but trust me, it is much better for your hair. So if you have a hood dryer, then it's best to roller set your hair, go under the dryer and dry your hair. You'll get better results and you won't encounter heat damage, because that's another thing. When you use too much heat on your hair, you can end up with heat damage hair. So to avoid that, roller set. Let's go old school. At night, when you go into your bed, you want to make sure that you're sleeping on a satin pillowcase. And if you don't have a satin pillowcase, then you want to make sure that you have a satin bonnet or a satin scarf to tie your hair at night. You don't want to be sleeping on anything that is cotton-like. Cotton is going to absorb moisture from your hair, and so we don't want the moisture to leave our hair. So to prevent that, we will use these type of materials that will help to keep the moisture in. Plus, you know that if you sleep on certain material, it will cause your hair to become matted. And so to avoid it and keep your hair nice and smooth, you want to use satin or silk to cover your hair or on your pillowcase at night. And even if you're at home and you know you're going to be lying down on the couch, you can just grab your satin or silk bonnet, put it on so that you know that your hair is not being rubbed on any surfaces that is going to cause your hair to mat. Another thing you want to keep in mind on your relaxer day, if you put the relaxer in your hair or the stylist, or if you are doing a relaxer at home, if you feel your scalp is itching, so you put in a relaxer, everything is in, and you feel your scalp itching you, that's the beginning of pranks of distress. Once the scalp starts to itch you while doing your relaxer, just know that after the itching, it is going to be burned or it's going to be burning you. So once you start itching, just remember it's time to take out the relaxer. Don't wait until that itching stops, because if that itching stops, then the next step is going to be burn. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.